Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. Wednesday afternoon. Throw your car away, drive it into a river. You don't need it anymore, unless it's electric. Dan, California is going to ban the sale of new gasoline cars by 2035. Yeah. So we got 13 years.
I don't give a shit about fucking California or any of the dumb things they do. That doesn't affect me.
What's going to happen out there? Is it going to be like Fast and Furious?
The Austin metro area is going to get bigger. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it sure is.
Because people are going to fucking leave.
Is it going to be like Gone in 60 Seconds? You know, we're just stealing cars and doing funsy things for gasoline cars.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what the purpose of setting a date for it, right? Like usually when this is what Alex Epstein said when he was here. If you have a better product, just put that product on the market and it'll win. Mm-hmm. You don't have to electric cars are better than gas-powered cars in almost every way. The problem isn't that. It's that we don't have the infrastructure for any of this shit yet. And they're not going to have it by 2035 either. Most projections put it like 2050 will be when we actually have the infrastructure for it. But, you know, aside from the loud noise that a gas-powered like muscle car makes, it's not going to be able to compete with a Tesla, like speed-wise.
Sure.
It's not how it works. Like you have, instead of having a differential that's distributing energy down all these different failure points, it has the opposite of that, which are like backup motors on the actual wheels themselves. Mm-hmm. Like energy is going directly to it. You're never going to get that kind of efficiency from a gas car. That's not the point. It's not like, yeah, they're better. Sure.
Yeah. But
we don't have any of the stuff to make this work right now. And you're also going to put a huge strain on the energy sector. It's just fucking dumb, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my map here, right? So I got a last-minute call to go meet an investor in Dallas, and it is 3.5 hours away, okay, this place that I'm going tonight. If I had an electric vehicle, I would not make it. I would not make it there. I would have to stop somewhere, recharge, and then kind of figure it out after that. And then
I think you make it there, but not back.
It'd be dicey, man. I mean, we took Josh's Tesla from Wilmington to Raleigh last time. Yeah. It's about 2 hours door to door. And it got close toward the end. We had to stop in a mall, charge it.
Was he fully topped up though?
I'm not sure. But that's the thing is like, can you risk that? What happens if you're in traffic? What happens if there's storms or whatever? Do you just pull off on the side of the road? And to Dan's point, these electric charging stations don't exist everywhere yet. No. And to put them in everywhere is very, very costly. So I don't know how we get there by that time period either. I'm with you.
Yeah, and here's also how it's going to work. The charging stations are going to get built. It'll take longer than that amount of time. It'll probably take 20 years for that. Mm-hmm. But what will happen is the freemium model, right? Where you pay some kind of fee right now to charge your car up, but then they slowly but surely fucking raise that cost.
That's what I think it's going to be.
And it's not a fucking open market. They control the entire market. It's not like
Guys,
you
it's
can go to
there.
It's not like you can go to different gas stations and choose between prices, which they collude together to regulate prices as well. But when it's electricity coming through that usually in whatever area you're in is coming from one source or another, now you're fucking. This is the same thing that's going on with every other part of our economy.
You're gonna just swipe your phone and then charge up.
Well, so Tesla has their supercharging station network. It's a membership. It's 99 cents right now, and of course that's going to go up to like $10 a month or $15 a month. You get access to their charging network, also faster charging, and I think they're going to have some sort of like entertainment there. Or purchases like a gas station almost.
All of that is gross. I don't want to stop at a Buc-ee's and just kind of chill. Go inside, spend $100 on tchotchkes, and then head out to a nice, dinner at Applebee's.
You have to wonder.
Do that.
You have to wonder how it's going to affect daily life, right? So people have become very used to since the 1930s, I guess, driving to a fuel station, taking a few minutes to fuel up their car, and they being on their way.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be the case anymore. Now, you could talk to some people that have electric cars, and what they do, it's like people who work remotely. They'll pull out their laptop and work there in the car for like 45 minutes or whatever it is, or however long it is. That's like a big deal.
Yes.
Right? For people who like commute more than 20, 25 miles, unless you pay the $20,000 for a home charging station, how does that fit into your life? Like if you're driving, if you have to charge up for a couple of hours once a week, that's now a new part of your life that's taken away from the other shit you're doing. You know what I mean? It's very bizarre.
Yeah, and is the charging station, does it cost that much, or is it just a normal cord? I know this might sound like a dumb question.
Well, it comes free. So originally you get one that would come free with your car. And I'm speaking on Tesla right now because they're the most common ones that you could plug into the wall in your outlet. So you could charge that way. It's super slow, super inefficient. Then you can upgrade to their faster charger or have like a big port installed in your house connected directly to your home's energy system.
So they give you one that kind of works, but not really in any way that a human being would get anything out of, right? It takes like 8+ hours to charge your fucking car.
It's very inefficient. It's an overnight thing. It's not. It's incredibly. But one thing that I think we're kind of forgetting here is that there's a universal style of charger, and then there's a Tesla style of charger. There's also converters to use in between them two, but Tesla's now going to become one of the largest energy sellers in the United States in the next 5 years.
Well, I heard years ago that Tesla didn't really give a shit about the cars. They cared about the batteries. And that's where the actual money is. And then these charging stations. And that's why Elon Musk gave up all the patents, where he's like, hey, great, everybody use these patents for electric vehicles. But guess what, motherfucker? You're going to have to pay me to charge and then move on with your life.
And he's going to be purchasing energy at like a huge scale. Like who's he? Like he's buying that from states. He's going to have some sort of like government contract. You have to. Like I don't understand how that business works at that level.
Well, Texas gave it to him here, so I know he's got a tax break here for it, and they're dumping in money into his company to try to figure this out. But I don't know why he would just give that away for free and not keep it himself.
He gets a special price on energy that then he resells to you.
I think so. And that's where the fun really comes in.
And you pay a membership to be able to buy that energy and cut the line.
Yeah,
this feels like Disney World.
It sure does.
Well, it's like every other industry that's ever happened. So you guys may not be old enough to remember. Ross definitely is because he's 70 years old.
Barely. I am in the future probably.
No. You're old as shit. So when cable first came out, cable television, it was about commercial-free television. That's what it was, right? And then, of course, fucking commercials come in. When Sirius and XM started, commercial-free radio. Nope, that lasted like 2 years before they started packing every fucking inch of that place with advertisements. It's happened in every major technological advance in the history of this country, particularly in the last 50 years or so. And it's gonna be the exact same for this. It's the freemium model. They get you hooked on it. They make it part of your daily life, and then they start fucking slowly upcharging because they know you can't do without it.
Yeah.
It is vertical integration and a collusion between private companies and the government, which is fascism. Yeah. That's the definition of it. So,
and it's going to be exactly like Netflix, but for cars. So they're going to jack up the price. Now that won't have any commercials in it if you want that on a monthly basis. And then if you want half of that, you're going to have to watch a bunch of commercials. And if you want a lower model of that, it's going to be even more. But it's just like the speed of charging your car.
Yeah, that's it. In this case, the value that you get, the premium value is the speed at which you charge a car.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And at some point, they'll probably develop some kind of way to hot swap the battery, like replace the battery really fast or something like that. And that'll be it. And it'll be even faster. You know, instead of 45 minutes, it'll be like 5 minutes. And you'll pay a fucking premium for that as well. You might say, well, that's a good business model. When you're trying to leverage every last dollar and cent out of commodities that every single person needs, you're fucking creating a horrible, horrible economy.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea to do that.
And then the other part of this is then the upgrades to these cars. And these packages come out, every 2 to 4 years. And it's like $2,000. Would you like to upgrade your vehicle to get, better fucking self-driving shit? Oh, yeah, sure would.
You mean like software? Yeah. But it'll be software and hardware. They'll replace motherboards or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
GPUs,
That's
CPUs.
not going to be exclusive to electric cars.
No, that's everything.
No, that will be everything.
Gas-powered cars are basically computers fucking already at this point.
But that'll be everything. So like to upgrade, because there was a truck we were looking at, and they were like, hey, with this one, you can upgrade it every 2 years. And I was like, to what? What, like to electric? And they were like,
at what point?
No.
At what point does it become a transformer? Because that's all I really care about.
Same.
Okay, well, let's talk about that because initially the full self-driving packages you could buy with Tesla, depending upon when you bought it, were a certain price. They've recently been raised. People hate paying for software.
And they raged. The people raged about that.
And you also could get these huge government tax credits back depending upon when your purchase date was and your bill of sale was. What's also kind of weird is that people like put money down and were waiting to get their car. They may have not gotten their car in time because I believe it was $7,500 you could get back on like a government tax break by buying a Tesla, depending upon what state you lived in.
Oh, yeah.
And
California did it with Priuses when I was living there as well. And you even got like better parking. I mean, it was amazing.
It's a huge, like, people are feeling like they're getting things at different prices. They're very angry about it. They're raging about it in a way. It's kind of hard to understand though, because like if you could upgrade your truck and it had a better GPS system, do you feel you should get that for free, or do you feel like you should have to pay something because like R&D went into it, like someone's job had to go into it making it better, or should the company just absorb that?
Great question. So no, and the reason why is most of our cars, yours probably included, is you just plug in your stupid fucking phone and it's Apple Maps or whatever you're using. There's already upgrades to this. Why do I need it in the car?
I mean, most software companies release patches throughout the lifetime of that version of the software, right, for free. You know what I mean?
But some paid.
But when there's a significant enough change, then they release a new version, and that costs money. Look, this has all been very predatory so far, so I would imagine it's going to continue to be. I don't think you're going to get you're not going to get value out of any of this shit in real life.
No,
it's just not
going
to be the case. So yeah, people are going to have to choose, right, if they want to fucking pay these dumb premiums or not. And they will.
And they will.
Yeah.
They will. We all do. We all pay it every single day, so it's not shocking. But let's not say, oh, we're doing something great for the world, because we're not either. Where's all this energy and electricity going to come from, Dan, is my question.
It's going to come from coal and nuclear, right, and gas and natural gas. Those three things specifically. Depends on what region of the country you're in, but I think predominantly right now natural gas is what we're leaning on.
Okay. And can we produce more of that to outfit all these cars is the question.
That's the funny part of this, right? So whatever drilling that we do is going to go away, but we're going to have to go even harder on natural gas, which is fracking, which is a lot more shitty for the environment than just drilling for oil.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, it has a much bigger impact. So, the environment there's a decent chance it's going to get worse, I would say.
Dan, can I pitch you an idea or a scenario? Like fully committed.
Like a Shark Tank?
Yeah, fully committed to the ecosystem.
Well, you got to start off with, hello, sharks.
Hello, sharks.
I'm Giorgio.
Hello, future investors. You move off to your Wyoming house. You put it in the middle of nowhere. You have a well, so you got your own water. You have solar panels that can run your house and charge your car overnight that you need to charge it at. You know, you have the Tesla roof or any other solar panel that you want, battery backups, and then maybe a gas-powered generator at your house. I feel like you have a closed loop here almost, other than the fact that you have to rely on Tesla or your electric car manufacturer for updates on the car. Theoretically, it's just as off-grid as a gas-powered vehicle, and you can produce that yourself. Like, you can be
You know who did that for years? Ted Kaczynski. He was very successful.
Well, he was riding a fucking bicycle. But yeah, it's an interesting idea. Do you think, is there any part of you that thinks that the energy industry is going to allow that to happen?
No, not one prayer. Not a prayer.
Like, honestly,
they just won't.
You don't think there's a legit cure for cancer? Honestly, you don't think somebody's figured that out by now?
I could see them fighting, but they can't stop someone like you if you want to do it.
Yeah, but that's at the lower level. That's nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, that's pennies. That's not even pennies. That's fractions of pennies.
I know, but then we have a working model, and it's about making that model more efficient then, right?
Well, I mean, I have the capability to do those things. The vast majority of people don't. And I don't mean like they're not physically capable of doing it. I mean, like, most people don't have the money to go do something like that.
Right. Even with the friends that we have, you and I, that have done things like this, they had money to do it. It wasn't just, oh, I decided this overnight, because electric vehicles are still expensive. There was a Chevy Volt that I saw, and I think that's the one that the Democrats always tout of like, hey, let's get this Volt in everybody's hands because I think that's the cheapest. But that's a piece of shit car, and I'm not sure what the charge on that is either. Then you got to consider your climate and everything else.
It's not good at the consumer level. It's
Yeah.
not good at the middle income level, but it's plausible. Like, it's not cool to drive a Chevy Volt or a Prius. It's not cool to have ugly, inefficient solar panels that you had to buy more of. You still get a government tax credit on that, on both the purchase and the installation of them. So if you do your own labor and charge yourself your own labor and do a little legal work, you can get a little extra money back there too. It's not easy, but I don't want to say it's like not impossible.
It's not impossible, but you take somebody who's got 2 or 3 kids, like myself, married. There is just not enough time in the day to do all that bullshit to try to figure it out. For me, going back to what Dan said, I'm paying the fucking $10.99 a month and just swiping the thing and then going on about my day. The reason why I brought up climate, and I'd like to add what you do for work as well to this conversation, because there was a guy at a barbecue the other night that was talking about this. He had said this was probably coming down the pipeline soon from California, and he was talking in particular about the Ford Lightning, which is the F-150 version truck that is electric. It is sold out already. They don't have any coming in. And he was like, hey, bro, I tow shit for a living. And then he was a contractor. And he's like, we put bricks, stones, everything in the back of this goddamn thing. It's heavy as shit. He goes, off of one charge, once we actually figured it out with what we had to tow and carry every single day, he goes, you're looking at maybe 120 miles. I mean, he was pissed off about it. Because then he was bringing up the other cars. Well, I was like, what about the Tesla truck or whatever? And he goes, is that ever coming out? And we had a good hearty chuckle. And I was like, say that on the show all the time. Dan and I ordered one about 2 years ago, and that's still not here. So what do you do in certain professions that you need to tow or lift heavy equipment or things like that? That's going to kill your charge as well.
It's a good question. I mean, you're limiting your ability. So if you wanted to, towing is a good example. If you wanted to make a tow truck, right, which is usually you buy a 250 or 2500 or above, and you put either a flatbed with a winch, or you have the actual tow mechanism, like the whatever the fuck anchored tow mechanism they have. You'll no longer be able to do that in California, right?
Yeah.
With a diesel high torque engine. You'll have to use electric, and how is that going to work? Maybe we're there by then. I don't know. Like, we're pretty close to having semi trucks that are fully electric.
Yes.
And
Rivian is doing it.
Yeah.
But they're not making a lot of them.
No, and the semi truck has quite a bit more room for large batteries, and is on a much more regulated driving schedule than a tow truck, right? So it makes sense. There's cutout periods in the day already for the charging portion. There's quite a bit more battery space than just a regular truck that's a tow truck.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they fix that problem.
I think they fix it by employing their own towing system in the state itself. I'm being totally serious when I say this. Yeah. Don't you think California is just trying to gain more and more power?
Yeah, I think they're communists. Yeah, for sure.
So do I. And I think that's tow trucks will probably be government at that point for California.
Okay, so we're talking about, like, I think tow truck is the specific line between heavy machinery, right? Specific machinery that you'll see on a construction site. I don't think that's talked about being changed to electric anytime soon, right?
Yeah, no.
Like
I don't know how you would.
Everything that we drive by, like, it has to be this kind of machine built.
A tow truck is just a regular ass truck that they put towing equipment on. It's not a special truck. It's a Ford F-250 or a 2500 or sometimes higher than that, but usually starts there and goes higher. Or it's a Cummins engine or some kind of diesel engine or something like that, and they just take the truck bed off, add to the suspension, and then put either a flatbed with a winch coming out of the middle of it or the actual tow device. It's just a normal truck. That will not be for sale in California anymore, right? That's a fucking problem.
Unless they're able to figure it out. Now,
yeah, special exemption, or it'd be sold under a special tow truck.
Yeah,
maybe.
my
I mean,
special truck.
if given the decision between that and controlling the entire towing industry, what do you think California is going to choose, right?
Yeah, we're going to get too into the weeds with this. Like, am I going to now not have a lawnmower that's powered by gas?
Oh, yeah, shit. I didn't even think
I
of
already
that.
don't have that.
I have
a battery powered lawnmower.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's fucking fine.
My lawnmower is powered by my Venmo. 'Cause I just pay dudes to cut my fucking grass, man.
I go out by hand with a pair of scissors. I like to know it's precise, and it's the best judge.
Yeah. If I had the time, I would karate chop each individual blade of grass with my bare hand.
It's very zen to do that.
Yeah, I don't have time for that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I may as well just have like a fucking, what is it, a sand garden or whatever the fuck, rock garden.
So you're not a real white man then if you don't care about your lawn.
I couldn't care. I mean, you know, I care enough to fucking pay somebody $40 a week to cut it.
And
That's it.
I cared enough to buy a house in a neighborhood where it was just pre-planted, and then they come around and do it for you because I don't have time for that bullshit either. Beautiful yard, but I had nothing to do with it, nor would I.
Let's talk about white men.
Yeah, let's get into honkies.
I'll ride all day for electric cars, but you'll never see me with an electric farm or yard tool.
No.
Ever.
Can't take it
weed
from
whacker, nothing.
What's a fucking battery one, Bob? What do you do with that
They
thing?
suck.
No, they're fine.
No, they're totally fine.
If you're just
use
mowing,
it?
if you're just mowing normal grass, it's fine.
Yeah, the only time I've ever had to stop and recharge it like mid was when I just moved in and the people that lived there before hadn't cut the grass in like 2 months.
Yeah.
Fuck
And
that.
it was like up to my fucking waist.
Print the shirts right now. John Deere, come and take it.
Yeah, come and take it, dude.
That's
They
a good
suck,
idea,
but
actually.
we'll talk about
Yeah,
them
John
later.
Deere is a horrible company.
No,
I'm sorry. John Deere is fine. Caterpillar is the horrible
No.
company.
John Deere's the one fighting right to repair. So farmers aren't allowed to own their own equipment, nor repair or do anything to their own equipment that they've purchased without going to specific John Deere licensed places. It's a huge legal thing right now.
It
Look
is.
it up. Right to
It is.
repair.
No, I know what it is. Millennial Farmer was talking about it and how expensive it is to get it done. And there's nothing you can do because they basically have a monopoly on it.
And also, you're fucking insane if you want like a gas-powered like weed whacker or leaf blower or something for just your residential home, like have to make sure it's gassed up, the oil's in there and shit. Like, no, just fucking take the battery, put it in, get your shit done. It's so much more inconvenient. You don't even have yards. You renters, you fucking poor people.
I grew up cutting the lawn, all right?
Yeah, you did.
I cut multiple lawns. I used to cut the whole neighborhood's lawns.
This man doesn't know about acreage. Man doesn't know about zero turning. He doesn't know about edging up the fence line.
Don't know shit
Picking
about
up pine cones. Boy, you don't know about North Carolina pine?
Yeah, dude, you're talking to the lawn rangers back there, man.
Why are we in a fucking
Fuck!
argument about lawns?
No, fuck this, dude. Fuck this. Fuck your battery, dude. Fuck all you guys. This is white man shit.
Is it like
we're not taking this away?
Is it like a fucking DeWalt power tool where it has a battery that you put into a charger, or how does it work? I mean,
Yeah, it's not, dude. If you're using an actual like you plug it into the wall, then go out into your yard, like, and the plug is in the tool, and there's a cord behind you. Yes, you are a soy boy, beta cuck,
yeah.
all
Actually,
that shit.
the way you said power drills, I think we should gas power our power drills as well.
There's not enough gas.
There's nothing
power.
like the smell of gasoline when you're hanging a painting that your wife came home from that you hate, and you're just like, just get a couple sniffs in there.
Yeah, at least you
dude,
can get a
to
toot
complete
off
the
that.
day.
Maybe kill some brain cells.
Fuck yeah, dude. Shit.
Pull start.
Pull. And just really fucking.
We've got a pull start gas powered vibrator.
You gotta hold on for dear life.
Fucking
at that
works,
point.
man. Oh yeah, yeah. It's anchored into the wall actually, into a stud, because otherwise it'll just go off on its own and destroy the fucking house.
It's a real steampunk sex toy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've talked about this. I think the oil company just needs to rebrand as dinosaur powered.
Yeah, but it's mostly plants. Like
Well, you
most of
don't
the
have to
oil is
tell
from
them
plants.
that.
Yeah, we
It's all about
just
branding.
found dinosaur footprints yesterday here.
No, you don't. You have to brand it each way. I think we talked about this on our podcast.
We did,
For the conservatives, you're like, my shit runs on dino juice. I'm a fucking man.
Oh, I love it.
And for the liberals, you're like, we use plant-based fuel to like, and everyone's a moron and gas stays where it is.
Except for nuclear, all fuel is plant based. Technically.
If I can inject a baby triceratops, like just some blood right in my fucking veins, dude, to start the day, let's go.
I don't know if that
I'm
would
down
work.
for it. I think it would. Toddler blood, dinosaur blood, mix it together. Then you got the best of both worlds. You got the youth, and then you got the experience and the power, dude.
But then you
Don't
end
forget
up
the rhino
like
horn.
SeaWorld, who right now is having to deny claims that they made some kind of weird Jurassic World style orca whale chimera right?
Is that real?
Have you heard of this?
No, we got a pic of this, Bob?
So an ex-trainer says that SeaWorld bred a hybrid subspecies of orca that would never exist in the wild.
Shit.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude.
We're doing that, and we're also trying to bring back the woolly mammoth.
Well, that I knew, but I haven't seen it. So that was, I think it had started maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any updates on it or any progress.
I still don't know how it helps with the permafrost.
I don't really give a shit. I just want to buy one. I want to, because Americans will miniaturize it. I want a miniaturized woolly mammoth, and then I want to walk that up and down the street.
Now, this is Orca's vagina.
Oh, God damn it, man. Why?
Is he...
This was on the news story about the chimera.
All right. I mean, that's...
Is he taking the pulse there? What is that thing?
Can I put it on screen?
Yeah.
I mean, it was already up there.
It's on
it's
the
up
news
there now,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean, whatever.
It looks like he's firing some semen into it from that little thing. Or maybe he's taking blood. I can't tell.
Is this the creation of it? Are they creating life?
These are just stock images of like veterinarians working with the whale.
Okay.
So what happened with this chimera?
Yeah, do we have a pic of what this whale looks like now, Bob? What this crossover looks like? That's the crossover of the summer then right there. Mm-hmm. I'd like to let that thing go.
That says they had no idea what they were creating. The breeding program has led to more aggressive orcas being kept in captivity.
Perfect.
That doesn't actually make any sense, though. Unless they're doing selective breeding to prioritize aggressiveness. But why would they do that when they're the ones getting killed by the orcas all the time?
So essentially what happened is, according to the trainer, there's technically more than one type of killer whale, more than one type of orca. So I guess they capture, the SeaWorld will take whatever. As long as it's black and white.
I mean, it's a dolphin with a tan sometimes, right? You never know.
So they captured some from the Argentinian waters and bred them with Icelandic killer whales, because I assume it's SeaWorld, and at this point they're like, yeah, fuck it. And they would never cross in the wild, so this is a breeding that wouldn't happen naturally.
So higher levels of aggression are typically associated with drops in IQ, right? So what you're saying is we've got some weird fucking inbred whales out there now. Some squishy face whales that are not smart.
Now, why would they do that? Why are they doing that at SeaWorld?
You think it's a government thing?
We want to see an attack. That's what we want. Remember Blackfish? We want to see a better version of that, where the whale jumps out into the crowd and eats 27 children.
Have you ever felt less bad for anybody than you felt for a one of these whale trainers getting jacked up by the whale?
No.
Like I can't bring myself to give 2 fucks about
neither.
that person.
Well, here's a video from this year, April 21st, of 2 of the whales. Now, this is interesting. Now, this tells me they're so smart that they want to put some fear into their trainers.
Okay.
Right? This isn't just like a lion biting through the throat. They tried to drown their trainer. They were like, we want to watch the light leave your eyes. I don't want to just rip your arms off.
Yeah, that's funner than ripping an arm off for sure.
So here's the video of that.
Okay.
There's no free ads.
No,
Hold on.
we don't do free ads here.
Fucking son, man.
Who's this fat guy at an Italian restaurant getting slapped?
I don't know, but he got slapped.
Yeah.
That's fine.
T-shirt
I'm into
company.
that.
There we go. Pop that on the screen, Bobby.
Shamu's best friend can do.
His best friend.
Oh, no. Whoopsies.
I think the greatest thing about working with Shamu is being in the water.
Oh, God, that creepy voice and music.
At first, you feel he just puts up with you. But soon you realize he really seems to like you. Like a gentle way he welcomes you into his world.
Does he think that's going to work, smack in the water?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, see you later.
One other parameter that I need to mention that all reverbs have is a pre-delay.
Oh, man, they're really going after it now. Look at those things.
Pause before the reverb actually starts.
Oh! It looked like they let him up for like 5 seconds just to say goodbye. Of like, hey, we'll raise you up just to say goodbye.
Well, I think he owes him money, so they're not trying to kill the guy. They're just like drowning him a little bit. Where's the money? And then you let him breathe, and you drown him again. That's what it seemed like. Are these?
That's intense.
Where
Did he
was
die?
this? Because are these whales involved in organized crime at all?
Yeah.
See, Dan, that was my thought. Is originally the government was paying to crossbreed rails from the north and the south to make a super whale that was more intelligent, but it seems to have backfired.
Well, it made them dumber and more aggressive, I think.
But the three of them got together like they were beef fries, and they were. This seemed pre-planned.
Do orcas communicate through sonar as well, like some of the larger whales?
I heard touch, but
They
I'm
do,
not
yeah.
Sure.
Or is it American Sign Language?
Yeah. Which one? Bob?
Hard to do with a flipper, by the way.
It is, but there is ways because you pretty much just need to go north, south.
Yeah, but every
east, and
time
west.
you can't do this, obviously, because then you're anti-Semitic and SeaWorld gets shut
Right,
down.
you got to knife hand it.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta stay parallel like this, because if you turn the hand like this, now all of a sudden it's white supremacy.
Yeah, and we don't want that whatsoever. While you look that up, Bobby, we got some sponsors that pay for this show to be on the air. I wish it was John Deere, New Balance, and our old fave Rawlings. Just some good old-fashioned American shit. But Ghost Bed's American, god damn it. And that little trainer who got eaten alive is now a ghost as well. 50% off everything in that bitch. Never said that on this show before. 50% off everything. The Ghost Lux mattress, 50% off. The bundle package, 50% off. 50% off the goddamn mattresses and the 2 free pillows. It's all there at ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Now, if you want some other items like some sheets, maybe just the adjustable base or the weighted blanket, which is nice. I heard you sleep for 13 hours on that goddamn thing. Then you type in the promo code Drinkin' Bros at checkout, and you're going to get 30% off there. Otherwise, everything is 50% off. Mattresses are 50% off. They looked at this. I hit them up last night, and I said, look, I saw this ad mid-show yesterday. Is this real? And he's like, hey, we know we're going through a recession. We know that. We're trying to help people out. 50% off all the shit. And this is going to be up until, I think, Labor Day they're going to do this. So for the next 2 weeks, until Notre Dame gets smoked opening week, you're good to go on 50% off there. That's the Notre Dame and Ohio State game, by the way. They're going to get fucking dropped. And as soon as that's over, I think they're going to end the deal. So you might as well get one now if you're a Notre Dame fan, so you can go night-night. Go night-night in comfort. Go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros today. Next up on the old program, Freeze Pipe. D'Anthony, this is your new fave, dude.
Yeah, actually, Giorgio's got one over there somewhere.
Are we allowed to hold this up on YouTube? What's the
I don't
sitch?
see why not.
At this point, who cares? We showed a whale's vagina being artificially inseminated, so I think we're fine today. Pop this. Look at that. Look at the elegance and the beauty behind me. Oh,
It's really
that's
pretty.
nice.
So you can see the bowl at the bottom, or the pipe part at the bottom, and then
Look at that.
there's a glycerin-filled circular chamber, like corkscrew chamber. And what it does is it makes the corkscrew part filters the air more, but the frozen glycerin, you put that thing in your freezer for like 45 minutes or an hour or so.
Yeah.
And you hook this thing up and smoke, your tobacco out of it. And instead of tearing the lungs out of you, you can really get after it.
That's what I heard. Because like smoking through bongs is pretty fucking harsh. And I heard it takes all that out of. Look at that pipe. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful pipe there. My God, dude.
That's the.
That's nice as shit.
What's the name of that model? It's on the top of the thing.
There you go. Look at the box.
The bubbler. Yeah, that's
the
the
bubbler.
bubbler. Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, that's nice. There's also a full-on bong,
Yeah.
standing bong, water bong that you're used to.
It's
This
unmatched.
This is the best smoking device that I've ever used.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for, I'm a veteran of this.
You're in the weed smoking Hall of Fame, for Christ's
Yeah.
sakes. So is Giorgio. Have you tried it, Giorgio? Have you had it yet? Have you given it a little poke? You're a flower guy.
Yeah, I just want to give a little tease. There will be a full ad and review of both the bubbler and the bong coming to the channel and Drinkin' Bros media near you.
On Patreon?
Somewhere.
Yeah. Let's do it on Patreon. We can get away with what the fuck ever. You just smoke the shit out of that and then see what happens.
Well, I'll do one clean ad, that can be
Yeah.
places where I'll talk about it as a water pipe and
Okay.
using your plant material.
Yeah, and look, a bunch of shows have this. Andrew Schultz and all those guys. We're finally here with Freeze Pipe. So for a premium smoking experience at everyday great prices and free shipping, visit thefreezepipe.com and use promo code Drinkin' Bros for 10% off your entire order. That's freezepipe.com. Use promo code Drinkin' Bros for 10% off. It's the old freezepipe.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros, 10% off there. It just ships to your house, too. So it's not illegal anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just goes right to your house. Who cares? And it's smooth, man. It is fucking smooth.
They are terrific products.
Yeah. Best in the biz. Next up, we got the store, drinkinbros.com. There it is, Bobby. Throw it up on screen. We are stocked full of items. Oh, shit. We got the Pork of the Sea shirt still going there, too.
There's
Speaking
also
of orcas.
Speaking of Jurassic Park, there's the Fuck Park shirt.
Yeah.
Which is always nice.
Yeah. Nice for the kids. The kids love it.
We've got some new designs coming out soon, but make sure you get the defund the FBI, abolish the ATF. Those shirts.
Those have been killing for us.
Yeah,
Defund politicians.
It's just the opportunity to let. It's a flag. It's like you fly an American flag because you're proud of your country. You fly this flag because you're proud of people resisting the bullshit that's happening in the government right now.
Yeah,
that's what it is. And then other people who think like you will be like, "Hey, that's cool. Let's talk." And people who don't think like you will start crying and shit their pants.
Yeah, and if you're on there, get a Drinkin' Bros flag. So that way, in case we're at a tailgate, we see the flag flying, we'll just fucking stop by and booze up with you. Damn it. We'll have some booze together. College football and NFL are back here in about 3 days. Are you guys doing outside the top 25 this week on your show?
Yeah, it already happened.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Well, it's going to publish at 4 o'clock today.
Yeah, but we're not live right now.
We're not live right now.
So it already happened.
Yeah, it already happened.
We recorded it, made some great picks for the week 0, because that's all outside the top 25.
It sure is. Well, I mean, speaking of which, so let's run through it real quick because we're on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros will double your deposit up to $1,000. That's where we gamble. I want to see if your bets are similar to mine. I took the under in the Nebraska game.
Took that as well.
I teased Nebraska and Illinois down 6 points in that one.
Okay.
So I'm going with Illinois, and I'm also going with Nebraska there, and I'm taking the under as well. I didn't bet the UTEP game, and the junkie in me, well, because I know the junkie in me is going to bet that Hawaii game late at night. Who'd you guys take in Hawaii against Vandy?
I took Hawaii money line.
I went Timmy Chang and the boys with the points.
I took both, but yeah. Because every week we have to pick a money line dog.
Oh, gotcha.
So I took them as my money line dog pick. I also took them with the points. To Vanderbilt's credit, they are already in Hawaii. I checked the Vanderbilt football Twitter. They showed up yesterday.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a good thing.
Take a bunch of college kids to Hawaii?
Well, look, they're going to have the island flu for sure.
Yeah, and who knows what the referee situation's like. It's always questionable when you get on the island.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Vandy in that game, actually. I think it's -7. I'll put it in a teaser. It's 8. Maybe not.
Tease them down to 2.
Maybe not. I haven't touched that game yet. The other 2 games I bet on, so fuck off.
We came to an interesting conclusion. I did specifically. There is a good chance that Nebraska is a 10-win team and playing in the Big Ten championship.
Oh, that's gross.
That is, you want to know what's gross is their schedule.
That's right. On that side of the bracket, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
So we're high on Nebraska.
Nebraska is going to be probably, mark it down now. It's on fucking video. By the middle of the year, Nebraska is a top 20 team, and they very well potentially could be a top 15 team by November.
Do they have to play Ohio State in the regular season?
Nope.
Oh, well.
They do have to play Michigan at Michigan.
I don't know how good they're going to be this year, so who gives a shit?
They're going to upset Oklahoma at home in week 4. And they're going to be off to the fucking races against their shitty schedule.
Now you lost me. You lost me at that Oklahoma game. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that on this show, all right? I'm not going to put on a cape and some fairy princess slippers. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play pretend here today, you fuckers. Marjorie Taylor Greene got swatted last night at 1 a.m. Now, this gets really fucking interesting here because I figured this would happen eventually. They're not given too many details, but it's a computer. Police say it was a computer-generated voice.
AI, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I thought was going to happen with some videos like presidential videos and things like that. I thought for sure they were going to get Trump to say the N-word somewhere.
I'm sure it's coming.
Don't you think it would have happened with Trump, though? Or Putin saying something like, oh, we're going to war.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's more likely that the technology exists for a while, and then, you can make it look like an older video and not something that just happened. Because there's so many different ways to do that. Plus, you have to be able to spoof the metadata inside of the file, which is, it's not the hardest thing in the world to do, but it is. If you're not really good at it, it's pretty easy to detect that it's happened.
You don't think she was just on Twitch and she pissed somebody off playing Call of Duty?
That's possible.
Maybe.
She got into a fight with a little Chinese kid or something.
Yeah.
And they called her out something.
A little Asian boy,
Well, that's who it is.
He lost his shit. I like, though, the reasoning behind these. These are my favorites to look for. Whenever I read these articles about somebody getting swatted, they usually tell you why and what was said on the phone. This was a woman shot somebody 5 times in her bathtub. And that's fun. Because why not, right? What is specific call that, oh my God, a woman just shot a dude 5 times in the bathtub and then ran away. You got to come here.
I mean, that has a ring of truth to it, right?
That you think she would do it?
No, that like if you say the more specific people get about their explanation, what it's really a sign that they're lying, right? Because they're trying to fill in gaps and stuff and not leave room for error. But to the receiver, it seems like for the uninitiated, I suppose, it seems like, oh, they know a lot about this. This must be true. But in reality, the more specific somebody is in an explanation like that, the more likely it is they're lying.
Maybe they just watched Training Day and they had Ethan Hawke in the bathroom and we're about to blow his brains out.
You gonna blast this fool
then
or what, Holmes?
But then they find out he saved their niece.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, that's why you save nieces any chance you get.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Always stop rape.
Well,
Smiley.
I've always been against rape.
Yeah, Dan's been anti-rape for a while.
Yeah.
There was like this white boy and he came out of nowhere and he totally beat this guy up, man. You wanna blast this fool or what, Holmes? I could do the whole fucking movie, dude.
Too bad. I'd watch it.
Yeah. Shit pushed in. I could watch that over and over again. I love that fucking movie. Whoever that guy was, too, who just did that the entire movie, the energy it takes in his neck to do that the whole time, why? It's like his veins are going to burst out of his neck.
The flexing of the neck.
Shit in.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh. Even watching it, I was like, God damn, dude, I'm in this right now. I feel like I'm that white boy in the bathtub. It was fucking intense. I saw it in L.A., too. So, we were a couple streets over from where all that shit was shot, and you're like, oh, that could happen to one of us.
Wait, am I doing it right?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. You gotta cup those pigeons, dog. Let them know. Let them know the pigs are coming, dude, by clapping out some pigeons, dog. Who's here? We got a listener in the studio back there? Hey, we just got a salute. Come on in, brother. Grab a seltzer and grab a seat over there. Join the old program. We're talking about nonsense here today. This looks like a guy who cuts his fucking yard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all gas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes or no? No?
Oh, he's a fraud.
God damn it. You've got the hat on. Is that a Florida Gators hat? Yeah. I'll bring you on at the end of the show for Drinkin' Bro of the Week. We'll discuss why your team's going to lose week 1. It's -2. I've already bet it. I put a grande on it. Sorry. Threw an Ariana on it. That's my lock of the week 1. Sorry. The mystery's broken. I don't care. I didn't want the point spread to go up, so I already did that.
Speaking of point spreads, Bob, I need you to do 2 things for me. One is see if you can find any polling data on Fetterman v. Oz. And then 2, pull up that video of Fetterman speaking. It should be pretty easy to find.
I'm going Fetterman in this one. I hate it.
Maybe. I mean, Oz is not a very likable person, honestly. But he does have name recognition, which is tough to get. And he's got a fuckload of money as well, which is also that helps. Yeah. So I don't know. Now that
So I saw Fetterman, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. I saw Fetterman on a show called The Circus on Showtime, which is a political show where they kind of follow the candidates. They used to only do it for presidential elections. It got pretty popular, and they're doing it in midterms. And Fetterman, he was featured in one of the episodes. Did you know that he thought he was getting robbed, and then he pulled out a gun and chased this dude down the street, this black kid, and that they wouldn't let that go for whatever reason, and he was innocent, I guess, the kid. But that was a really fucking strange story.
I'm not.
But he is
familiar
that
with
dude. It's super gangster. The way he looks and the way he acts it's the streets of Philadelphia right there.
Well, here's the problem, right? So apparently the guy had a stroke earlier this year.
He did, yeah.
And now it's starting to catch up with him.
Oh, is it really?
So Bob, if you can find that video.
Yeah, I got it right here. I believe this is from yesterday. Before that plays, though, I mean, you could even make fun of Joe Biden if you want, but like we've elected dead people.
Oh yeah, like literal dead people.
Literal dead people.
Yeah, but this is the United States Senate.
I haven't seen this.
Some local election.
Yeah, go ahead and play it. I need some volume, Bob.
I'm going to be proud to stand and defend the union way of life, period, if I make it to D.C. You know, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. Being anti-union is anti-American. Say that again. And also,
that's not it.
Sure.
Which was the video?
It's one of him fucking.
It's a tighter angle on him, I think.
It's the front angle. Hang on. This one? So really,
there we go. How about this one? Isn't that wide right there?
I don't know. I gotta look here. Everybody may have it blocked at this point, but he's like.
Well, Dr. Oz made a comment after the video, and he was talking about eating healthy to help you avoid strokes and something else.
No, it's not this.
Was it in relation to this speaking engagement?
Go to the one that Greg Price posted on Twitter. It should, if you just type in Fetterman and search, it should be one of the first ones that pops up.
Who's Greg Price?
It's a front view. I have no idea. I just see his name here.
Okay.
Keep scrolling. Well, you can do that.
Keep scrolling.
Is Dr. Oz a doctor?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he is.
I think so. Is he? I want to be a doctor. I want to get the honorary doctorate and then just tell everybody I'm a doctor. I've always wanted that.
Dakota does that.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Where did he get his from?
Some small school.
It counts. Look, whatever it is, if they give it to you, it counts.
This video was posted by Greg Price.
Yes.
This it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see this one here.
Alrighty. This is from the same situation as the other video. Okay.
I'm honored to be standing in the shadow of your amazing building. Do you think of the 10 homes Dr. Oz has a union hall across their home? If you say you think the word of steelworker, what words come to your mind if you say steelworkers? Of all the words that bring to your mind when you hear the word steelworkers, does the word crudité come to your mind? That's not a word that's going to come to my mind. Crudité, but is wrong with demanding for an easy, safe kind of their income. This is one simple truth. If you send me to Washington, D.C., and there's going to be choices in front of me as the next senator, and it's going to be what? Are you going to stand with the union way of life, or are you going to stand with trying to destroy the union way of life? And there is no doubt in knowing I'm going to come down and stand with the union way of life. If I'm your next senator to Washington, D.C., guess what? You're still going to have a senator that's going to be living across the street from your steel plant. I'm going to be the kind of senator that's going to be living directly across the street with a union hall.
Okay, you got it. So, kind of like large parts of this brutal to watch because it's all too familiar. It's like Joe Biden 2.0, right?
Right. And when you have a stroke like that and you're trying to come back from it, it's tough, man.
And you rest and you don't go campaigning every 20 hours a fucking day.
No, and I mean, shit,
months.
even, look, from my own personal experience, even coming out of the hospital after 45 days and then just coming back into podcasting every day, there's just some words that don't connect to others, and it takes a while to get all of that back. For him to jump out of a hospital bed after a stroke and then hop back into a race where you've got to go out and speak daily, multiple times all over the state. Pennsylvania's a big fucking state.
Yeah.
That sucks. I'm not a big fan of jump cut videos like that because you're taking the worst out of a 1 hour speech, but it does show you that the guy is clearly suffering from symptoms of having a stroke.
Well, it's to illustrate a point, which is that Fetterman has refused to debate Oz. And this is clearly the reason, right? Now, it doesn't mean that he's not a better candidate even. That's not the point I'm making. I don't know. I mean, the guy's a leftist clown, to be honest, just like everybody else in fucking politics. There's some version of clown, but Oz is a clown in his own right. I don't think many conservatives care too much about him, frankly. But the fact that, like, Oz has got he's got about $16 million coming in now, pretty soon to do a big media buy. My guess is if I were them, I would play that video and say, why won't this guy debate me? Here's why. But I can't fucking speak.
Yeah.
I think that's relevant. I think when we have a guy in the presidency who has been a centrist more or less his entire life, who now has vascular dementia, and leftists are completely taking over his party and the country, then that should be a warning sign where you can't have somebody in a position like this that isn't mentally fit to be there. It sucks that he had a stroke. I don't know if he's a bad dude or a good dude or whatever the fuck, but the reality of the situation is the reality of the situation. If you can't do the job, you got to get the fuck out of the way.
Well, in that state, it's kind of like the worst who's going to win, right?
That's every election that's ever happened.
No, I understand. But in this case, it's Dr. Oz, the guy who just had a stroke. And, ultimately that'll be up to the people. I think it's smart to avoid a debate, for sure, after seeing this video. I think it's very smart. And to my knowledge, and then Delco, you know more about this than I do. I almost called you Dan, which would have been a mistake. Come on, dude. It's Delco, brother. I think he has a lead. Do you have polls, Bob? I think Fetterman's in the lead, actually.
So the latest poll from the Trafalgar Group, which is a right-wing polling organization, has Fetterman +5. Mm-hmm. This Public Opinion Strategies has Fetterman +18, but that seems kind of weird.
No, that's whoa. Whoa. Let's not get crazy here.
Here's the Fox News poll has Fetterman +11. That was July 25th, however. The most recent one is Trafalgar Group from August 17th, and that is Fetterman +5.
Okay, so 5 is in your plus or minus for
margin of error.
Yeah, margin of error for most elections. I think it'll be close. It just depends on who goes out that day and why.
Can I admit something?
Go ahead.
I didn't know what crudité was.
That's fine. It goes in your salad.
It's just a certain way to prepare vegetables.
Vegetables on a tray.
No, they're hard, crunchy things that go in your salad. So you're fine.
No,
you're
that's
totally fine.
That's not what that is.
Is my bookie doing odds for this election? That one I would throw money on Fetterman, actually. As much as I hate to say it, fuck. But I think the whole thing, I don't know that I've seen a candidate show up in a bathrobe in events in gym shorts. I mean, literally every event. It's a baggy hoodie or a baggy T-shirt and then gym pants. And I don't know that he wears socks with his tennis shoes.
He's like that uncle who is just always around.
Yeah, or just hooping. He looks like the guy at the YMCA who's like, yo, anybody want next? And you're just like, all right, I guess.
He's a union man.
Yeah, is he really?
Yeah, I mean, he said it a million times in that video.
It was hard to understand.
He said like 5 words in that video.
Sure did.
All of which were union.
But is he saying that to get union support, or was he in the actual union himself?
He just seems like that's his life.
You don't fucking know.
It's his life. No, he's definitely a union guy.
Okay.
Through.
Dan, what are these odds? MyBookie does have odds for Pennsylvania, but what is?
Oh shit! Do they really?
Yeah,
Pop
but
it up?
they're listed weird. I don't know if somebody changed it.
Go ahead.
That means 1/3 is I think -300.
Okay, so someone put like weird English odds.
And then Republican Party 101 to 5. It's a little over 2 to 1.
Republican Party to win what?
Someone put it on. I'm sorry. Someone put
Senate?
it on fractional format for some reason.
Who did that?
Wait,
dude?
it's still on fractional format. I don't know what that is.
I don't know why they're doing
Get
this.
your shit together.
But either way, I mean, 1 to 3 is -300.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fetterman is.
I'm gonna pop this up. Yeah, let's see what this is. Put it back on screen. Fetterman's a what? -300.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then
those are heavy odds.
Oz is 2 to 1.
2 to 1 if you're looking for some juice. What do we got for the Republican Party in Senate and Congress on there? Vegas knows, man. Vegas doesn't really miss that much.
I like how the 538 still is labeling which are the conservative leaning pollsters, but doesn't label any of the left leaning pollsters. Like they have it. There's a shape and a color for it, but it doesn't appear anywhere
Because they're all
public opinion strategies from Pittsburgh Works Together. That's a fucking labor organization. Like that's leftist as fuck.
They're all leftists.
No one takes 538 seriously.
Well, they shouldn't anymore.
I
mean,
wouldn't.
come on.
I wouldn't.
It's my favorite place to like look at the polls, but I don't take necessarily their predictions at face. But like these are just polls. These have nothing to do with 538. They just organize them in a pleasing manner.
That little fucking
if you throw out the A's or whatever, but
yeah, like it's not Silver's problem, right? He's just kind of like reporting what he's.
No, this is you're on. So if you go to 538,
so they have
scroll down to the first Senate race right there where it has Trafalgar Group listed first, and there's a red diamond next to it, and it says is a partisan pollster for the Republican Party. Now, what do you think Pittsburgh Works Together is as a PAC? What do you think that is? Like, does that sound like a labor organization? Because that's what it is. And they're clearly leftists, right? So they're labeling the Republican ones, including the John Bolton Super PAC, whatever. Why would that exist, right? Is he, like, raising money for his mustache cream or something? What the fuck is that about?
For more war.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's like... Even the Fox News one down here that had him up 11, they didn't bother to tag that as like a fucking Republican-funded thing. But that's clearly what that is, right? Shaw Research. So why Trafalgar Group when it's all the way to +5, when it's within now the margin of error? Why would they label it as like some... You see what I'm saying there? It's like kind of just like casually floating the idea that it's some kind of right-wing conspiracy poll or some bullshit like that, when in fact it's an A- rated poll.
Man,
You know what I mean?
well, yeah, they rate it. No, it's A+. They rate that one. They rate Trafalgar A+.
Trafalgar as a group, but this poll specifically at A-.
By the way, I'm on my bookie here. They've got odds for every single state.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fucking on it, man. I'm looking at Georgia right now, just because obviously that's my home state there. Republican -110, Democrat -125. That's the one with Herschel Walker.
I'd take the Dem in that one personally.
Same, but like...
He's only down like 1.5 points right now.
What if fucking Herschel Walker won, dude? I think that'd be great.
And he just like carries a football with him everywhere he goes.
Everywhere he goes, dude.
I need it.
That would be so goddamn funny. I mean, it's all a joke anyways. Let's just fucking...
who cares?
Have him walk around, just say, them dogs is hell.
Yeah.
Number one Gator hater.
Number one Gator hater.
But let's put all like quasi celebrities in there, right? Let's put Herschel Walker in there. Let's put Dr. Oz in there. Let's put all of the weird fucking people who were left over from Big Brother Celebrity Edition into politics, and then just see what happens. Who cares? I mean, Herschel doesn't care about contraceptives or anything. Obviously, he's got 11 children. Now, would I like to see a Republican win? You bet. Is he the guy to do it? Probably not. But on this, do they have scroll down to Pennsylvania there? Because that would be a big boy one here.
No, they're not even. They're like,
oh shit! Yeah, he's -300 here. Fetterman's at 3-1 here. Dr. Oz is at 2-1. If you're looking for some juice, that's the one to pick. If you're
People
looking for
really
money.
hate him.
Who?
Dr. Oz.
I don't know that they hate him necessarily. It's a weird switch to just leave Hollywood and this huge TV show and then be like, I'm just one of you in Pennsylvania. I'm going to go and do this.
I'm just telling you, people in Pennsylvania like Fetterman.
No, I know. I understand that. I actually know. I've watched all the fucking docs on this guy and the shows and everything, and he's running off of the working man, the old Springsteen trope. Man, I'm just bringing a lunch pail to work every day, and I'm trying to make it happen.
I don't think the stroke is going to hurt him as much because they liked him before it happened, and they're more willing to give him a break.
And Pennsylvania is weird because like people that are Republican are still pro-union in some cases.
If I'm Dr. Oz, I come out in my next campaign speech to stroke me, stroke, and then have the whole crowd chant. I think that would be
there's already articles on CNN. MSNBC's done it on their daytime program today, criticizing Oz for even mentioning the fact that this dude can't speak. That's a low blow. Like, no, he's not fucking physically fit to serve. That's a relevant fucking point to make, man. Jesus Christ.
Why is every Republican's ad not just 45 seconds of Joe Biden and then them being like, I'm not him?
Yeah, well.
Who knows? Look, there's a lot that could be done, and it isn't. I don't know how this is all going to shake out. I think Congress...
I don't either, but we haven't heard about the student loan thing yet today. Have you heard anything about that? I haven't seen it.
So I heard it was actually going to be $10,000 for anybody who makes less than $125,000 a year.
That's my whole fucking feed.
Do you want to pull up? Well, I haven't seen the actual
I didn't
executive order.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't hear Biden come out yet. Everybody else's speculation, and then a press memo was leaked earlier.
He had a press conference earlier today.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Well, do me a favor. Go to Instagram and pull up Sagar and Yeti's Instagram account, because this is some new information that I wasn't previously aware of that is really fucking funny. Funny in how stupid it is, and we all are. Right?
Yeah, we're all fucking idiots.
Yeah, Biden, I mean, his news kind of got washed under by the PGA Tour today.
No, I guess not. Between me and Rob's feed has been only that, and the repost of that New York Times article. It's $10,000 if you make less than that 100, like Ross was saying. If you're a joint household, less than 215,000.
What is the problem here?
And then you'll also receive, I believe, an extra 5 or 10 grand if you were a Pell Grant recipient, like I was during college.
Get him on Sagar's Instagram. What is it? SAAGAR.
Does this prove Rob's racist?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, dude. Bob, what the fuck, bro? Any white person you can spell, but
okay. You see the second post, that graph thing.
Pop that on
blow
screen
that up and put it up there. Now, this is why canceling student debt won't even work, regardless if you think it's good or not. So, if you cancel the $10,000 amount that they're talking about, that amount of debt they'll have that amount of debt in fees and fucking APR within 4 years.
Yeah.
So the government's going to take your fucking money and just give these people $10,000 or whatever to put towards these things, and then in 4 years it's going to be there again.
Yeah.
Unless they take advantage and go pay off the entire loan, which they're not going to do.
No.
Is this going to be a direct payment to people, not
that's not
a debt cancellation?
Don't get fucking sidetracked by that. The fact is that this plan is fucking stupid.
Right? No, I completely understand.
No,
but if you don't take care of if you don't take care of your business and like use this directly to your loans and reconsolidate and refinance, like it'll be right back because you can't. The way it's structured, that whatever you're paying is just going to keep.
And that's what I was waiting to hear today, because if you're getting the $10,000 and it's up to the individual whether or not they're going to pay off their student loans.
No, that will not be the case. It'll go directly to the lender, I'm sure.
Got it.
Even then, unless the person after that fact starts making interest plus principal payments or pays off the entire thing or something else, then it's not going to do fuck all. 4 years from now, you're going to have the same amount of debt that you had today, but it's going to be more costly because the dollar is going to be inflated. You understand?
But
you're fucked.
I think they knew this already, and
of course they fucking know.
It's just a huge talking point going into midterms to be like, hey, look how great we're doing.
They knew they had to do something. They campaigned on this shit. They knew they had to do something.
Yeah.
And Dan, let's talk about the math real quick. Isn't there a point where then if you pay off the mean, then it would start trickling down? Like if you take the average student debt and then paid back off the mean of that, then that would
if you
change
have if you have and this I guess all of you guys do, if you have student loan debt, private student loan debt specifically, but even federal student loan debt, you have to tell them to apply the amount to the principal, right, and not just to the interest, because that's what these companies will do. The banks will do this. They will take your minimum payment, will go towards just the interest and never pay on the principal, which means that interest continues to accrue at the same rate it did at the very beginning of the loan. And that's how you turn what should be like a 5-year payoff into like a 20-year payoff. And that's where, like, if you work these things out over the course of the lifetime, you end up paying like 300% more than what you would have if you just, figured out a way to pay it off in the beginning. Which is like when you're talking about $100,000 loan, what's 300%? Like 300% of that, that's $300,000 fucking dollars. Who in the middle class, who the fuck has the ability to just pay off a $300,000 debt that's not a home? You know what I mean? Like the vast majority of people can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Honestly, like what can a school give you knowledge-wise that's worth a home to make your asset as a person worth?
Not a fucking thing. Literally nothing.
Okay, so the naval and
unless
Air
they
Force
give you a
academies,
job that pays you that amount of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't they
That's-
credit those educations worth upwards of like $500,000?
Who's that now?
The Naval Academy, like Annapolis and the Air Force academies, don't they hold like a super high
I don't know.
valuation on that?
I mean, that if that was true at some point, it sure as shit isn't true now. Like having a premium education doesn't translate into premium jobs like it used to.
with the exception of like one or two.
Yeah, well, there's a couple, right? But
Like, yeah, if you're like going to med school
Yeah.
or fucking.
Should you have to pay for med school though? It's such a valuable job. Should you have to pay for that? That like if you were going to do something besides, student loan debts or something like that, maybe make med school free, but you have to complete it.
I mean, think of
I would-
everything.
yeah,
right?
I would-
Like pilots have to pay what, like $300,000 to get a $45,000.
Well, that's why there's a pilot.
yeah, and the
shortage, yes.
starting salary is
Yeah.
like $50K, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I mean, it's I wouldn't be opposed to individual states agreeing that we're gonna use taxes to fund med school for people, provided they make what would be this similar thing to the Naval Academy, which is a 5-year commitment to our institution, or a 6-year commitment, whatever it is.
Yeah, they do that with other stuff all the time. They do that. That's a program with public defenders
Yep.
Yep.
where if
Public
you
defenders. Yep.
we'll pay off your law school or most of it if you come be a smart person who could probably get a job
Yeah.
somewhere else, come be a public defender for 5 years.
Well, I
blah,
mean,
blah,
the
blah.
the alternative to it is what Dan Crenshaw says, which is like, what's the point of service if I can't make money off of it? I mean, he literally said that.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to draw that kind of person to politics or to medicine or to law or to service in general? Or do you want to draw the kind of person that's like, I will sacrifice 6 years of my life giving back to the community in exchange for this fucking good education? I think that's a reasonable person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny too, Bob, with the public defender thing? One of the best lawyers I ever had. I asked him. We were having drinks one night, and I was like, "Man, you're one of the best I've ever worked with." I was like, "What is your background?" I'm like, "Did you go to Harvard or Yale or whatever it was?" And he was like, "No, I went to some small school in Michigan, and the same thing. They didn't have enough money. Family didn't have any money, and he had to be a public defender for 5 years." He goes, "I've seen and done it all at this point." He goes, "I know everything about law," and he goes, "It truthfully made me a better lawyer because I had to do this 5-year term and then see all these fucking crazy cases." So he goes, "There's nothing you can really throw at me that I'm going to be shocked by."
And I mean, think of all those high-end lawyers that very rarely see court.
ever,
Yeah.
ever, dude.
Because
and I've got friends who do it, and they never go to court. They play golf a lot.
Yeah.
They
So when
never
they actually
go
go to the courtroom,
Yeah,
they don't
get-
have the reps.
Exactly.
Dude, being a public defender, this understates it to a hilarious degree, but being a public defender is essentially being a lawyer on fucking hard mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And like you are doing the casework typically of 3 lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
and you're defending a lot of times either people who are innocent but fucked, or people who are like horrifyingly guilty but deserve a defense because because we live in fucking America. Like, it's just every problem you could possibly have with being a lawyer. It's just hard mode. It
is, and to the point, like I'll get dark with this. I went to his office one time, Friday afternoon, late. It was about to close, and I just had to turn in some paperwork that was signed, and it needed a wet signature, and he was fucking wasted, absolutely fucking wasted, alone in his office. And I was like, oh shit! Like I was like, I should not be here. I apologize. Whatever. It was barely 6:01 on a Friday night, and when on the way out, I saw his secretary, and I was like, dude, is he all right? She was like, he's a fucking alcoholic. Like, and I was like, you guys know, and everybody goes, she's like, he's a great attorney, and he keeps it under wraps until after work is over. And I was like, do you know what it's attributed to? Did something bad happen in his past? And he goes, he saw so much fucked up shit as a public defender that he could not defend, and he knew innocent people were being shipped away simply because he didn't have enough help or the time or whatever. And he goes, all of these people, man, I had to look their family, or this is what she told me, that he had to look all these families in the faces, and he couldn't get them out of jail. And once I heard that story, I was like, oh my God, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I never said a fucking word to him after that.
Or even the people who are guilty, you're just like, look at them. Like, my mom's a public defender. She currently is now, like, she runs the public defender system for Missouri, but she's a public defender most of my life. Dude, like, the fucking cases she would leave laying around the house, like, working on it at night and shit, like, horrifying crimes.
Yeah.
Or she would defend, like, some 13-year-old who was guilty of, armed robbery or stealing a car or something like that. But it's like, you know, I mean, this kid was like some fucking asshole 17-year-olds like dragged him into it. He really shouldn't have been there, and like it was like almost a peer pressure situation. And the system's just gonna fuck him and send him to jail and make him a criminal now. Yeah, type of thing. It's just a nightmare.
And by the way, when I said that I didn't say anything to him after that, I meant about the alcoholism. Like, what are you gonna say? You know, he was a great lawyer. I worked with him for years after that. But about the alcoholism, where I was like, hey man, if that's how you have to cope to get through the day, who am I to fucking say what you've seen? Because I certainly was not working in Detroit as a public defender.
No. What we're talking about here, though, is the value proposition associated with sacrificing for society, right? So if you're a soldier, it's obvious. You want the war to be a good war, something that's meaningful. But all these other places, like police and the way they've been treated the last couple of years, and you're seeing record retirements. Like New York is fucked. NYPD is fucked. Yeah. They've had the highest retirement rate and attrition rate in the history of their organization, and crime was already on the upswing. So it's only going to get worse there, and people are going to fucking leave. New York is fucked, right? But it's
even in Austin, man. I was at that show the other night. I ran into somebody, and I was like, "Hey, you still working there?" And he's like, "Nope, retired."
Yeah, a lot of people got early outs, and it's the same thing with people in medicine. It's the same thing with teachers and shit. You know, the people that have run these organizations have run them into the fucking ground and used them for ill purposes, for malice in a lot of cases, if not simply for their own benefit. And now the institutions are crumbling because there's no value proposition. How do I go to a kid and say, hey, look, it's going to be 8 years in school, and it's going to be another couple of years in fucking as an intern, and then finally you get residency, but it's not over then. You know what I mean? Because then you got to keep fucking doing shit. It's a hard life. Yeah, at the end of it, there's a lot of benefits. Good doctors make good money, but it's going to suck for a while. It's going to suck for 10 years, like literally 10 years. It's going to be fucking 1/7 of your life is going to suck, but then you get all this stuff. If all that stuff isn't there, right, or the industry is fucked or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Who's that helping? Like, who's going to sign up for that shit?
No one. And isn't that what you're describing essentially for the GI Bill? Where it's like, hey, dude, you're going to go off maybe to war, or you're going to be in the military for X amount of years, and then afterwards, we're going to give you this free education.
Sure. The benefits, whether they be financial or otherwise, are an important part of it. But
don't you think we should be doing that, though, for doctors, nurses, teachers, firemen, policemen?
I don't know how you would do it for firemen or policemen, because usually for the most part, their training is paid for by the organization, I think.
But what if you actually put them in school where you're learning jiu-jitsu? I know Mike the Cop talks about this all the time, but like jiu-jitsu and things like that, where it's an aggressive long-term program, but afterwards it's a 6-figure job, and then you have all the pension, and you're able to get retirement and everything else. That way you're giving people a benefit to be great at their job, and they're getting the proper schooling, and it's free.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but beyond the benefits, you know, it is the institutional reputation that I think really matters, because the military has had its highest recruitment during times where they didn't necessarily have to offer bonuses, right? So World War II, people were fucking signing up to go fight in a world war, and they knew it. That's not a regular thing to do. You know what I mean? And they didn't do it for the fucking money, because the GI Bill didn't even exist then. After 9/11, quite a few people signed up, but the old GI Bill was kind of shitty for the modern world, right? So they didn't know that they were getting anything out of it then. Much more than the benefit is the value proposition of what that organization is going to provide, like stature in the community, for example. A lot of people care more about pride than they care about money. And I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing either, because if your pride is associated with doing a good job and being a good person, then that is more important than money. You know what I mean? So when the institution loses that intrinsic respect that it has to come with the struggle that the job is, then it fucking crumbles after a while, right? And it's just, I don't know if there's any way to fucking combat that.
Well, in your case, you used the GI Bill to go to college, right? Did you use it for your master's? And they paid for all of that as well?
Yep.
What was your personal experience throughout that process, and did it help you become the person you are today, or did you wish you would have skipped college?
I mean, it was something to do. Like if I had the time, I would be going to school all the time, like even now, right? Because that's what I enjoy doing. So I don't know.
Learning.
I don't know if I'm a good example of what that might look like. But there's quite a few people like
but even as a podcast host, we've had guests that you've dismantled. One in particular stands out. I remember the first time we interviewed Milo Yiannopoulos, who I actually like. But he wanted to get into a theological. There you go. Conversation. That's why you went to Penn State. Is to pronounce that, not me. I went full Fetterman there. But when you got into that conversation with him, I remember sitting in that room, and I'm on the opposite side of the table, and I knew nothing what you guys were talking about in that, and you just completely dismantled him in that conversation. I know it's just a podcast and we're fucking podcast hosts, but still, that did help you at your job. And
sure, yeah, but I think it's I think it's probably, and Bob might have an opinion on this as well, but I think it's more the fact that I enjoy the process of learning and conversation and debate. I would have been doing that at home, to be honest, even if that stuff didn't exist. I mean, technically, the thing that you learn in college, and I guess we all know that, everybody here knows that, it is you learn how to fucking look shit up and how to format formal writing. That's all I learned. And how to live away from your parents as an adult, sure, but I'm talking about educationally. I don't know a whole lot of people who got a whole lot academically out of undergrad university. It was just kind of like it was a thing you checked off the box, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you learn organizational skills and shit like that, and again, how to exist away from your parents. But I really didn't feel like the undergrad education really did a whole lot. It was just kind of something to do.
Learn how to work.
Yeah, you do. And like, because I agree with you on that point. Like, it wasn't the education so much, but it was living away from your parents, the social aspect of it. Me in particular at Ohio State, they don't want you to graduate in 4 years. Like, they make it real goddamn hard.
Well, that's the other part that you learn at a big state school, especially, is you learn how to work under someone who just doesn't give a fuck about you.
Yes.
Like, whether you fail, I don't give a shit. Then you're just gone and go fuck yourself.
And then how to circumvent the system, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you have to build relationships with these people in these weird offices all over campus to try to get the class you want and the time you want. And for all of it to pair up magically. There was a point where I thought about dropping out because I already knew what I wanted to do. And I like Dan said, educationally, I didn't feel like it was really benefiting me. But looking back at it, I'm glad I did because you learn how to complete a task in 4 years that was seemingly impossible. And none of my friends finished.
Well, when I was hiring people and they had a college degree, it tells me that they're capable of completing something, I suppose. But other than that, I didn't think too much about it. But you know, it wasn't the same for our grandparents, who, because of the GI Bill and the VA-backed home loan, that is largely responsible for creating the middle class in this country, which is 80% of people, give or take, right? So, the ability to be the first educated member of your family, for example, is a big deal for people. They came back from that and started businesses, or they moved their family from Iowa to New York and got a job on Wall Street, and now they're an affluent family or whatever. There's a bunch of examples, and then as we know, the primary way that middle class people build wealth in their lifetime is through equity in their homes, and it gave them much more access to that than they had before, and to a higher degree as well. Not just like the amount of homes that were now available to you, but the quality of the home as well, and the ability to build equity through your adult years. It was a big deal for people. But I don't think that anybody went to World War II with that in mind.
No,
I think
they certainly didn't.
Somebody attacked our fucking country. Yep. We're going to go take care of this, and that's the kind of value proposition that you have to have. And if you're in medicine, your job isn't to fight disinformation; it's to, be a physician or whatever it is that you're doing. But everything's politicized now. If you're a cop, your job is to protect the community. We all have this idea that the other political side is the enemy, but the enemies will take shape as a human being sometimes. But our enemies in an affluent society are poverty, right? Hunger, disease. Those are our real enemies. And we all try to like weaponize these against each other. Like, why the fuck would COVID be a political issue? Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fucking stupid that we made medicine a political issue, but it is. And there's a reason. It's because for the same reason that the pharmaceutical industry will sell you the treatment and never the cure, right? It's because you can shear a sheep many times, but you can skin them only once.
Yeah. You can't make any more money. So if you were curing everything, there'd be no money to be made in that.
And the entire American public education system is designed to build nothing but compliant workers. That's all it's about. I think it was Rockefeller that said that back in the day, that was the desired end state. I want people smart enough to run the machines and that make enough money to buy my products, but nothing more than that.
Yeah.
Right. But what does it mean? Like if you're your kid, if you go to a parent-teacher conference and the teacher says that he's a good student, what does that mean? It typically means that he's quiet, not disruptive, shows up on time, and completes his work, right? And of course, there's grades involved in that as well, but especially at the younger, like from 5 to 8, it's not necessarily about the grades. It's more about compliance. It's about drilling that into their head so they can go be a fucking factory worker at some point.
That's interesting. Because even with my kid, he didn't even have grades the first 2 years, where now he's in 3rd and they're doing grades now, but yeah, they didn't have grades, and it was kind of just like, all right, well, what's he doing there? What's he being judged on here?
Yeah.
It was exactly what you're
He's
saying.
learning to be compliant.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, if you're aware of that, it's interesting that we spend our tax dollars to send our kids to public school, and then when they get home from public school, we spend our free time, deprogramming them from the bullshit they've learned. That doesn't seem like a very good idea, does it?
It's strange. It's strange. Look, there's alt schools that are popping up everywhere. We've had Sam Kennedy on.
Yeah, Apogee.
Tucker Max, all those guys. Interesting. Either way, we got Drinkin' Bro of the Week here in studio. You want to come on up, friend? I thought for sure you had gas-powered everything, and you're saying no to this. I want you to look at this man as he walks up on screen there. There it is. Did you flick off the crowd there? Look at you. Because I bet against the Gators. Boom, right there.
He's grabbing a half.
You grabbing a hard half? There you go. While he moseys on over there, Tennessee is open. 77 stores in Tennessee. We're everywhere. I'm going to be there next Thursday for maybe 2 hours, tasting the new flavors and giving a thumbs up and then leaving. But we're in 77 stores in Tennessee, everywhere you could possibly imagine there. Put it about an inch from your mouth. Have you had one of these things yet?
I haven't.
Oh, what? You're going to have it live on air there. It's the old lemon lime. The fucked up cans are coming, I think, next week, by the way, Dan.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's crazy, right?
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't even like seltzers. That's amazing.
What did you think we were going to make something shitty and just try to peddle that?
Oh, well, you know.
Come on.
The podcast is pretty good, but I didn't think you guys were.
We're better than that.
I suppose.
You know us at this point. You got a Gators hat on. Did you go there?
No, actually, I was in the Marine Corps, so fuck college.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
but
T-shirt fan.
What's that?
You from Gainesville?
No, Orlando, but I've just been a Gators fan my whole life, so.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Unfortunately.
What's your full name?
Alex Wynn.
Alex Wynn.
Yep.
Welcome to Drinkin' Bros. How long have you been listening?
Since February of 2020.
Oh, shit. That's pretty specific.
Yeah, because that's when I went to buy my car.
Oh,
and so my corpsman actually introduced me to the show on the way to the dealership.
That's awesome. And then after that, you were like, this is my everyday driver.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's. We hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Where once we switched going Monday through Friday, they were like, dude, you can't stop now. So we didn't.
Yeah, during COVID, when you guys started going every day except Sunday, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I got more shit to listen to now.
Yeah. And we've continued that for, shit, man, how many years has that been now? 2.5 years?
Thereabout, yeah.
That's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Who would you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
Actually, to my old corpsman. His name is Kevin Garland. Voted the best corpsman in second MarDiv. So, yeah, Kevin, fuck you, by the way.
Yeah, Kevin.
Also, Ian Williams, just because he's been there for the last, I don't even know how long.
Hell yeah.
Best friend ever. So, those guys really helped me become who I am today.
That's awesome. What do you do?
So, right now, I'm actually, I'm about to go to school at UTI. In Orlando. I was just in Austin visiting my sisters.
GI Bill?
Yep.
That's we were.
Yeah,
just
you were just talking about it. Yeah.
Perfect segue. That's nice when it works out like
I've
that.
always thought that Ross is like the master at the segues. It's like fucking blows my mind how you do that.
I try. I try. Sometimes though, it's not good. You know. That's it's all right.
Better than I can come up with.
Yeah, that's all right. No, it's some of them are bad, but some of them are very good. I'm a very talented human being. What do you want to do after you graduate school?
So I have a passion for cars, so work my way up through. I'm gonna go do the Ford program at UTI.
Oh, that's awesome.
So maybe one day become a Ford technician, or just see wherever it takes me.
Man, circling back to the top of the show, we were talking about the Ford Lightning. Tell them to juice that thing up. If you get in a range of like 800 miles, let's go.
Is that the F-150?
Yeah,
right?
the Lightning.
Yeah, unfortunately, all vehicles are probably going to be electric in the next few years, I think.
Yeah, we were just talking about that too, where California said they're not selling any gasoline cars by 2035.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they just passed that.
Holy shit.
So that's what's going to happen there. So whatever you're working on is probably going to be electric, hombre.
Eventually, yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
But then all the Californians are going to come here anyway. Like they already are.
Yeah, and they sure are.
Yeah.
And they're going to be driving diesel trucks. I mean, just really fucking, man, I want a lift kit. I want to give me a fucking lift kit. I got out of California.
Yeah, but on these fucking tiny, shitty roads around here,
it's wild,
I don't know how people do it.
One flood will nuke out this city.
Yeah, so I drove here from Florida, and everyone was saying, yeah, we just got out of a drought. Watch out for flooding on the roads. And I was like, well, shit. That's not cool.
There was the drought was so bad, Bob. I don't know if you saw this. They actually found new dinosaur prints from 125 million years ago in Texas.
Found new dinosaur prints. The drought's so bad in Europe right now that they're finding sunken Nazi boats and rivers.
Bro, that boat was fucking gnarly. I saw that this morning. I was like, holy shit.
Still has weapons on it that are active, I guess.
That's awesome. Let's go. We should send in Steven Seagal and let him fire off everything. I put a video of him on my Instagram just absolutely wrecking fools the other day. Or whatever the opposite of that is. It looked like choreography. But it was fun. And we appreciate you being here on the show today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for
having me. You got a lady
me.
in your life? Special lady?
No.
Okay. All right.
Not
Special
yet.
Man?
Well, we'll keep that between me and whoever.
Sure. And I'm sorry about the Gators this season. It's going to be a rough one.
Yeah.
Utah,
fuck off.
Utah -2. It's my lock week 1.
So is this live right now?
Yeah.
Wait till the chat hears that I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan too.
Oh God,
they're gonna have a field day about that one.
I knew it, dude. You look like a Cowboys fan. Let's face it. You swap that hat out. That's what a Cowboys fan looks like.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Just put a Cowboys hat on.
Yeah.
Instead.
Did you leave your pack of cools over there?
I don't get that.
Okay.
I don't get that one.
A packet. So every Cowboys fan, jean shorts, pack of cools, some form of ankle monitor.
Oh yeah. Is that cigarettes?
Whites,
Cools?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't smoke cigarettes. Those are fucking
with
gross.
a K. Also, you're not a real Cowboys fan.
Well, I'm not white trash, really.
How'd you feel about losing to the better program in the bowl game?
I don't want to talk about it. I think the most heartbreaking loss that they had recently was to Kentucky. I think that was last season. When they were thought to win the game by 14 points and they blew it.
I think your most heartbreaking loss was Urban Meyer.
Fuck that guy.
That program, dude, he won you 2 natties, man. If he would have stayed, I think you guys would have continued dominance, but you guys haven't been really that great since, 2008 at this point?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a couple of decent seasons, but I don't even remember the last time we actually won a decent bowl game.
Yeah, and I don't know much about your new coach. I just know that they're definitely not favored at home, and that is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you are from Orlando, so, plenty of room on this bandwagon if you want to hop on.
The old UCF train.
I've actually
Delco's got room for you.
So when they went undefeated a few years ago, and
when they won the national championship,
it was fucking crazy at home. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, they're undefeated! They're national champions!" Like, no,
they are. I'll give them that.
Well,
I recognize that
in the record books. Coley Matrix.
Yeah, I recognize it. Who was it? You and Alabama that year that were tied for the national championship.
We beat Auburn, who beat Alabama, who beat Georgia. They beat both Georgia and Alabama, who were in the Natty.
Yeah, UCF national champions in my book. That's it.
That's
was that the behind the back handoff? Or who is that?
No, dude, that was fucking Boise State, Oklahoma from 2005.
Again, that's what your school is. It's a Boise State school. Let's
Boise.
no, it's not. I would argue people know Boise State more than they know UCF.
We've rolled Boise.
When?
Doesn't matter. Boise's a stronger brand.
Goddamn right. About that. Smurf turf, the whole thing. Man, you always bet on Boise. That's been a statement on the show for years and years and years. They never let you down. Big fan of Boise State. Watch out for them this year, okay? Appreciate you being here, kids. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. I want to give you a quick update on that. We just crossed 6,000 reviews yesterday. We greatly appreciate it. If we can get to 10K, just 10,000 reviews, there's more than 10,000 people, obviously, that listen to this fucking show. Then maybe the advertisers won't call us and be like, can you ask for reviews at the end of the show? Go to Spotify. That's just a 5-star. Then you can walk away. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the show, click 5-star, and then throw your phone out the window. You're good to go on that. And if you're in town, please stop by the studio, and you can be Drinkin' Bro of the Week. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.